Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever recorded video. I'm a little awkward about this, I'll be honest, but for my first ever exclusive Patreon gameplay, we are going to be doing Crimson's Chains. I just totally forgot who's by. Oh, this is their logo in the corner where I'm totally blocking it. I can't pronounce their name. Kaiwei on Ichio. They make a whole bunch of these dating games. It's not more like I guess it is a dating game, but they make a whole bunch of these, and obviously I'm going to start with Choso first. They have like Gojo, Ghetto. They have a Gojo and Ghetto one for the freaky people. Toji, Sukuna. They even do Leon Kennedy. I'm definitely going to do the Leon Kennedy soon. But yeah, no, this is this. I don't know how long this is. I think I got halfway through it when I first started playing it, but I never continued it. So I think it's going to be a short game, and that's why I want to start with it. But without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, we could be a skin color. I'm gonna choose the pasty white option because I am pasty white. So I'm gonna have to be reading this to you guys. I hope you guys are excited. Your nose wrinkles in disgust as you dip your fingers into the glass vial, extracting the creature inside. You turn its tiny, unsettling eyes away from you, unable to look at it for too long without feeling the urge to gag. You really wish Ghetto hadn't asked you to handle this, but Mahito is busy incarnating the other two death painting wombs nearby. Your methods are much more discreet than his. Your footsteps echo throughout the abandoned gymnasium as you approach the man bound by your red ropes, a man who had the misfortune of crossing you during traffic. A single trail of blood trickles down from a cut on his forehead, the result of his futile attempts to resist your control. Now, his eyes are glazed over, his mind's completely dominated by your cursed technique. So what, I got a freak-ass technique? Ah, so sly. Open your mouth. The ropes glow faintly in response to your command. He obeys, his jaw slackening as you push the creature into his mouth. His body convulses, instinctively trying to reject the intrusion. Swallow it. He complies, and the transformation begins. You turn away, disgusted, as his body contorts and warps. To distract yourself, you check your phone for updates. Mahito has sent you a blurry picture of the other two incarnated death wombs. One is a grotesque green bipped with hollow, blood-dripping eyes and two mouths. The other is almost human in appearance, save the horrifying face embedded into his bag. Why did I choose a reading game when I can't read? Psycho Freak. I'm done! That's my best Mahito impression. I hope you guys like it. You glance briefly at the man withering on the ground, wondering if this one will end up looking just as monstrous. You quickly avert your eyes, deciding it's better not to dwell on the thought. Time passes in a blur as you hear a deep, shuddering breath. You rise from your seat, approaching the now still figure on the floor. A soft gasp escapes your lips. A handsome man lies sprawled on the cold concrete, naked and vulnerable. His skin is pale, almost translucent, under the dim lights, with only the single cut on his forehead marrying his otherwise flawless appearance. His face is delicate, almost serene, completely unlike the other two death painting wombs that Mahito incarnated. The only thing that betrays his inhuman nature is the dark stripe across his nose and cheeks, though it could easily be mistaken for a strange tattoo. You snap a quick picture of his face and send it to Mahito. Mine has finished the incarnation process. I'll be at the base soon. Mahito replies is almost instantaneous. Psycho Freak. Ooh, you got a pretty one. You must be happy. Girl, if it's Choso, I'm always gonna be happy. You glance back at the man, watching as his eyelids flutter and slowly open, his eyes adjusting to the light. Oh, damn! He naked! His gaze finds yours, logging onto you with an intensity that's unsettling for someone who's just been born into a new body. His eyes cold, with dark circles etched beneath them, give him the look of someone who's been deprived of sleep for a lifetime. Yes, you're definitely happy. Just looking at him makes this job a little bit more bearable. God, get down on one knee for him. And marry him, you sick freaks. Hi. You got a human body now. Congratulations. He doesn't say anything, just keeps staring at you, his expression unreadable. Then, almost tentatively, he lifts his hands, examining them as if he's unsure they're really his. You stay silent, recalling Ghetto's advice to be calm and patient, but after a few more seconds, you can't wait anymore. My boss, Suguru Ghetto, rescued you and gave you a human body. He hopes that we can cooperate. Where are my brothers? You're taken aback by the depth of his voice. It's richer, more resonant than you expected. But his first words, asking about his brothers, don't surprise you in the least. It's only natural. They've been the only companions for each other for years, confined in those glass vials for who knows how long. We managed to rescue 2 of your brothers. They've also received human bodies, are waiting for you at our base. You'll see them soon. You set the bag down in front of him, unzipping it to reveal a neatly folded set of clothes. Here are some clothes. Pick whatever you like. Since you look human now, I'll need you to wear these so other people don't freak out. They'll also keep you warm. Put them on, and then we can go see your brothers. He hesitates, his gaze lingering on the clothes for what feels like an eternity, and you can feel your patience fraying at the edges. Finally, he reaches out and grabs them. You turn your back, giving him a semblance of privacy. After a few moments, his voice, softer this time, reaches your ears. I'm done. You glance back and see him fully dressed. A thin trail of blood has started to trickle down from the cut on his head, tracing a path down his forehead. That won't do. You can't present him to Ghetto looking like this. It would reflect poorly on you. You sigh, rummaging through the bag for some gauze, then step towards him. He tenses, eyes narrowing as you approach. What are you doing? You stop and raise your hands, the gauze visible in one, trying to appear as non-threatening as possible. You're injured. I'm just trying to help you, okay? He studies you for a moment, then gives a small, reluctant nod. You close the distance and begin tending to the wound, gently pressing the gauze against the cut until the bleeding subsides. You can see the fine details of his features. His eyes, dark and watchful, never leave your face. Do you have a name? He hesitates, his voice faltering slightly as if he's still getting used to using it. Choso. Nice to meet you, Choso. You step back, surveying your handiwork. The bleeding has stopped, and he looks a little less like he just crawled out of a horror movie. Much better. Alright, let's get you out of here, shall we? Ooh, damn, if I met Choso the first time like that, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. You open the door for Choso, and watch as he steps outside. His movements tentative, like a newborn testing its legs. His wide eyes take in everything, darting from one sight to another with a mix of curiosity and awe. He probably retains some muscle memory from the body. He's walking, breathing as naturally as if he's done it all his life. You can't help but wonder how much of this world he understands throughout the remnants of the body's previous life. You hope it's enough so that you won't have to explain every little detail to him. A gentle breeze stirs his long hair, and he closes his eyes, savoring the sensation. It's like watching a prisoner step into the light after years of darkness. But there's something more to it, a kind of wonder that almost childlike, untamed by the harsh realities of the world. It's strangely beautiful, witnessing his first movements in a human body, the way he seems to soak in every new sensation. If only he knew the pain that came with being a human, well, half human. But he'll learn soon enough. A dull ache settles in your stomach, a bitter pang that you can't quite ignore. With the weight of these thoughts pressing down on you, you walk over to the car and open the door for him. Come on, get in. Suddenly, a gust of wind scatters a bunch of flyers across the ground. As they land at your feet, a man rushes over, his face etched with panic. Ignore or grab the flyers. I had no idea there was a choice base to this. Do we be nice or do we be mean? I feel like this girl is giving mean vibes. But I'm nice, so I would help the flyers. You lean down, collecting a few of the scattered flyers. They're advertisements for a summer festival happening in a few weeks, which precedes going to a charity for disabled people. See, maybe we can go to this festival with Choso and we can have a great fucking time. Shit. A man reaches out. Oh wait, a man reaches you. Out of breath. Ah, thank you. You give him a cold stare before handing the flyers back without a word, already turning to leave. Wait, please come visit the festival. No. Your voice is sharp, final. Without another glance, you get into the car and accelerate away quickly. So we are a bad bitch, okay? I would never act like that in real life. Never understood why people put on these charades, pretending they care for others when it's clear they don't. Non-sorcerers, especially, are a breed defined by their cruelty and violence beyond redemption. Mm. Mm. I guess. I don't know. Choso's POV. Oh. Choso gazes out the window, mesmerized by the blur of passing scenery. The colors are so vibrant, so alive, unlike the perpetual darkness he had grown accustomed to. Everything feels new, yet oddly familiar at the same time. He isn't sure why. Perhaps these sensations came with the body memories imprinted into the flesh. That must be why he knows his insides. Wait, that must be why he knows he's inside a car. Why the words on the signs make sense to him without any conscious effort. He shifts his gaze to the woman driving. She's the first human he's seen in what feels like eternity, and something within his body stirs whenever he looks at her. A sensation he can't quite place, an inexplicable pull that draws his attention to her again. Bitch horny! And again. The body offers no exclamation for this. The strange feeling. Maybe it's because her face was the first thing he saw when he opened his eyes. She looked like... He searched his mind for the word, but comes up empty. What is it? Huh? You're staring. Is that bad? This body offers him no explanation. Seems like it won't help him with everything. She's silent for a moment, her expression unreadable. Then she mutters, almost to herself. So you don't know everything. Great. Damn. She glances at him, her eyes briefly meeting his. Some humans consider staring at someone else rude, especially if you do it to strangers. Oh. How strange. Staring seems like such a harmless thing. The car makes a turn, and they enter a bustling area. Choso's eyes widen as he takes in the throngs of people moving through the city center. It's overwhelming, so much activity. So many people. She glances outside, her face as impassive as before, as if this chaotic scene is nothing out of the ordinary for her. But then, her expression darkens, a shadow passing over her features. A piece of advice, don't get too close to them. Humans will mock and even hurt you if you behave or look differently from them. Choso shifts his attention back to the people outside. Some are laughing, chatting, their faces lit with smiles. They seem harmless, even joyful. But there's a nagging feeling in the back of his mind, something instinctual, warning him that it's not as simple as it appears. Why? That's just how they are, cruel for no reason. There's something unsaid, a layer of meaning he can't quite grasp. She doesn't seem very fond of other humans. It feels like a truth she's withholding, something deeper that he isn't yet meant to understand. But there's also a sense that's pressing the matter would... I can't read. But there's also a sense that's pressing the matter would be unwise, so he remains silent, absorbing her words and the complex world outside the window. Oh, hey girl, this is kind of interesting. Oh, back to our POV. You arrive at Ghetto's current base. It's an unassuming place, designed to blend in, just like all the others. The location's always changing, precaution to avoid drawing too much attention. You only gather when necessary, when something important is at risk. Or at stake. Follow me. Ooh, little bar area. Girl, you know I like drinks. You lead Choso through the entrance, pushing open the door to reveal a dimly lit room with a bar at the far end. At the counter, his brothers linger, their twisted forms even more grotesque in person than you imagined. You can't help but wonder how Choso ended up looking so different from them. Older brother! Choso freezes in the doorway, his shock evident. The raw emotions on his face is impossible to miss. His eyes widen, taking in their forms, a mix of disbelief and something softer, a recognition, perhaps, despite the monstrous appearance. They rush to embrace each other. Choso, your hair is falling all over your face. Eso, help him. Eso, the more human-looking of the two, swiftly produces a pair of elastic bands and, with a practiced ease, pulls Choso's hair into two pigtails. Ah, that's the hair that I like. I like him anyways, no matter what kind of hair he's got. The pigtails are so iconic. Much better now. You watch them from a distance, leaning against the doorframe. What a strange family. Their story, from what you heard, is a tragic one. You'd pity their poor mother. Yet, here they are, smiling, caring for each other like any other family. Even half curses, it seems, can be kinder than most humans. A door a door opens, and Geto approaches with his usual entourage. Not Gojo, Jogo, Hanami, and Mahito, trailing behind him like the shadows. You bow your head as he draws near. You did well. Prepare the board game while I talk with them. It won't take long. Yes, sir. He approaches the brothers with a kind smile. I'm glad you could join us, Choso. I'm sure you must be confused. I'm going to explain everything. Geto gestures for the brothers to follow him to a nearby room. Over here, please. Eso and Kechizu immediately follow, but Choso hesitates, his gaze lingering on you. His hair, now tied up into those awkward pigtails, distracts you more than it should. There's something almost endearing about the way it softens his face. Do you think humans would accept my brothers? His question catches you off guard. You follow his gaze to where his brothers had just disappeared. Memories of your own childhood flash before you, of being mercilessly bullied for your ability to see curses, for being different. One of the brothers, Kechizu, peeks back out from the room, his hollow, blood-dripping eyes unsettling even for you, someone who spent their life surrounded by curses. Choso, are you coming? You know the answer Choso is seeking, and the truth is as bitter as it is simple. No, they'd never be accepted. Choso nods slowly, the weight of your words settling on him. Without another word, he turns and follows his brothers into the room, leaving you alone with your thoughts. It is sad that he just wants to live a normal life with his brothers, but that'll never happen, because unfortunately they're dead, and they're curses. RIP. You lay out the board game on a low table, methodically setting the pieces in place while Geto works his magic, convincing Chosos and his brothers to join the cause. You remember when Geto did the same for you. He didn't have to try hard. Your whole life had been one long stretch of isolation, bullied relentlessly for seeing curses, abandoned by your family while everyone else turned a blind eye. Geto's words were everything you had needed to hear, a lifeline, a world where jujutsu sorcerers don't have to hide anymore. A world where you're determined to help create. Door click shuts behind you as Geto exits the room, his usual calm smile in place. It's the unwavering confidence, the way he always seems in control, that reassures you. How did it go? They'll join us. They're discussing it amongst themselves, but their decision is clear. He walks closer, his smile softening just slightly as he leans in, his voice dropping to a tone only you can hear. As I suspected, they're expandable. All three of them? Yes. A pang of disappointment tugs at you. It's a shame, really. The other one holds more value. Mahito mentioned he's your type. How did he know my type? That's crazy. Your thoughts drift back to Choso. A hum of appreciation reverberates through your mind. He's not bad to look at. Geto's smiles broaden, a glint of amusement in his eyes. If what we expect happens tonight, you know what to do. What? You know? You may toy with him if you wish, just ensure he doesn't do anything rash before the date. Oh shit, so it really is gonna happen. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know if anything happens in these stories. I'm hoping. And make sure he trains properly. I can't afford to have him die too quickly. Yes, sir. As Geto moves away, you can't help but feel a surge of exhilaration. The ceiling of Gojo Satoru. Oh my god! As Geto moves away, you can't help but feel a surge of exhilaration. The ceiling of Gojo Satoru, why can't I say his name all of a sudden, is only 2 months away. The thought of finally transforming this world, of stepping out of the shadows and into the light, fills you with a thrill you haven't felt in years. The future you've longed for is almost within reach, and the anticipation is intoxicating. Not long after, Choso and his brothers emerge from the room. Your eyes meet Choso's for just a brief moment before he turns his attention to Geto. We'll join you. Oh, wonderful. As Mahito mentioned, we need 2 people to retrieve Sukuna's fingers for us. Eso and Kechizu, how about you? They nod, and before Choso can say anything, Geto continues, his smile tinged with understanding. Choso, there's something else I need your help with. Choso wavers for a moment, conflict evident in his gaze, but then he nods. You silently observe as the brothers bid each other farewell, not realizing that this might be their last goodbye. Don't worry, we'll take care of each other. See you soon, big brother. Take care. Be safe. Their emotions, their bond, there's more to them than the average curse, more depth and complexity. A pang of unease tugs at you as you watch them leave, a small voice in the back of your mind whispering doubts, but you push it aside. This is for an important cause, and causes like this one demand sacrifices. Oh. After Eso and Kechizu leave, you, Geto, Mahito, and Choso gather around the low table where you're already laid out the board game life. The board game of life? Is that what we're playing? I read that too quickly. I like Life. That was one of my favorite board games as a kid. Geto explains the rules with his usual patience, and Choso quickly grasps the game's mechanics, his sharp mind easily adapting. As the game begins, Geto's curiosity surfaces, his questions subtly probing into Choso's memories of his time inside the glass container. You seem to have a solid grasp of your curse technique despite being confined for so long. I had 150 years to analyze it. Mahito lets out an impatient huff, more interested in the game than the conversation. Come on, Choso, it says you need to donate to the Art Institute. Pay up. Choso sighs, his brows knitting in mild frustration as he places the money down. The human world is too complicated. It might seem that way at first, but that's why you two will be partners from now on. Geto gestures between you and Choso. His smile is kind and reassuring as always. You nod, adding a playful wink in Choso's direction. I'll be your guide. I have no interest in humans. Ugh. Well, we just got shut down. Mahito snickers, his grin widening with mischief as he looks at you. Yikes, good luck on getting into his pit. You cut him off with a swift kick under the table, causing him to hiss in pain and shoot you a murderous glare. Hey! Can you two please stop? Geto's voice is calm, but there's an edge to it with a subtle threat woven into the gentleness of his words. Mahito huffs, crossing his arms and looking away, while you offer a slight unapologetic smirk before refocusing on the game. The game of life continues, the atmosphere gradually lightening as you, Geto, and Mahito engage in casual conversation. Choso remains mostly silent, observing more than participating, his thoughts clearly wandering elsewhere. But then, Choso's hand freezes mid-movement. Just as he's about to advance his piece onto the board, the sudden stillness is palpable, and you immediately sense that something's wrong. What's the matter, Choso? Mahito, oblivious, continues his chatter, unfazed by the change in atmosphere, but you could see it, the tension in Choso's posture, the slight tremor in his hand. In a swift, almost violent motion, Choso snaps his card piece in half, causing Mahito to yelp in protest. Hey, don't break the pieces! My younger brothers died. The words hit you like a punch to the gut. Already? You glance at Geto, who seems more curious than concerned, his expressions betraying no surprise. You could tell? What's going on? It's the only thing if... Ooh, I can't read. What's going on? It's the only thing if he was fully manifested, but I find it hard to believe those two were killed by a single finger of a cursed spirit. Choso's voice is steady, but his eyes, they're burning with something dark and terrible. Despair, rage, grief, it's all there, swirling just beneath the surface. Mahito, meanwhile, is still muttering about the broken game piece, his irritation almost laughably trivial in comparison. Sir, do you want me to go check? Geto's phone beeps, and he glances at the screen, his expression remaining calm, unbothered. No need. We just received a report. He looks up, meeting Choso's gaze. Eso and Kechizu were killed by the first years of Jujutsu High, Itadori Yuji and his group. You watch as the news sinks in, as Choso's eyes harden with a cold, simmering hatred. In that moment, you could see it clearly, his new purpose, the fire that will drive him forward. Across the table, Mahito's grin stretches wider, a maniacal gleam in his eyes. Maniacal gleam. I can read. Now, Choso will definitely be committed to the plan, but for some reason, you can't bring yourself to smile. Ooh. Damn. That's rough. That's very rough. You walk into the bar, carefully cradling a steamed cup of ramen in your hands. The room is quiet, almost oppressively so. Choso went to the scene of the fight to observe to oversee the disposal of the bodies, only to return and take the same seat at the table, unmoving and silent. The weight of his brother's deaths hangs heavy in the air, pressing down on him like a shroud. You need to begin your part of the plan, and that entails making Choso comfortable enough around you. Ghetto suggested flirting, and you don't need much convincing. You approach Choso and place the cup of ramen in front of him, setting the chopsticks neatly beside it. The steam rises in lazy spirals, drifting up towards the ceiling. Choso looks at you, his expression confused, his eyes hollow more than so before. For human bodies to operate at their best, they need a few things. You hold up your hand, ticking off each item on your fingers: food, water, sleep, exercise, and sunlight. If any of these are unbalanced, it might make you feel like shit. Why are you telling me this? You sit next to him and lean closer, watching as his eyes follow your frame. Because if you want to avenge your brothers, you need to remember that. You might not want to be human or behave like one, and that's fine, but you have a human body now. So you need to take care of it as if you want to accomplish your goals. The truth is, you don't really care about his goals, as long as they align with Ghetto's plan. Choso stares at the cup of ramen, his stomach growls audibly, and a laugh slips out before you can stop it. Why are you laughing? You shrug, trying to suppress your grin. I don't know, I just thought it was funny. He looks at you like you're some strange creature he can't quite figure out, then shakes his head. He grabs the chopsticks, fumbling with them awkwardly before finally managing to lift a noodle to his mouth. As he chews, his eyes widen slightly. This is his first time eating in a human body, and it must be an intense experience. I'll give him an intense experience. Anyways, you watch him, fascinated. He catches you staring, his expression returning to its usual monotony. Didn't you say staring was rude? The corners of your lips quirk into a playful smile. Touché. You hold his gaze deliberately, teasing him with your eyes. His cheeks redden, and he quickly looks down at the ramen, as if it was the most interesting thing in the world. Oh, he's blushing. How cute. Your smile widens. He's flustered so easily. Toying with him is going to be fun. You lightly tap his arm. Eat up. When you're done, we're going to go take care of another basic human need. You lean in slightly, your voice dropping to a whisper. Sleep. Ooh. How sassy. We're gonna sleep. But I think I am going to end this first recording here. I know that this is not going to be a super long one. It might be a few parts, but like I said, I'm going to end this one here. I'm going to just do like really short videos. I'm going to hopefully try to make them at least a half hour to about 25 minutes long each, so I'm reaching my record time. But no, I'm gonna have fun with this, and I hope you guys have fun with this too. If there are any game recommendations that you guys want, specifically any adult themed content games, because these are all gonna go on my Patreon, let me know what you guys have in mind. I have a few games already lined up, but put them down in the comments if you want. But yeah, I want to thank you guys all so much for watching, and it means a lot to me. I love you all very much. Bye bye.